Hey guys, what is up? We're back with another week of the glorious Trigun STARGAZE. I was this close to saying Stampede. Stampede was like 2 years ago, bro. Actually, 3 years ago. Oh, wow. Okay. Anywho, 2023. Wow. But anywho, when we thought, stuff is going to line up a little bit, Vash got back his original hairstyle that we know him best. So of course there's the original from the manga, but nonetheless. And we're thinking, okay, his spirits is starting to be uplifted. The whole gang is back. Rest in peace, Roberto. He saved the home ship. Now we got where the gung ho are coming after the plants that remain on the home ship. So my worries is, as I mentioned from last week, is I don't think Lucia and Brad are going to make it. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but something is telling me that like they're not going to make it, and the ship is going to be destroyed, as well as there's going to be plenty of the plants that help this ship hover. Yeah, that ship is going to sink. Yeah, I'm saying ship. I mean this whole, well, yeah, it's a ship. Yeah, it's gonna sink. It's going to sink. In the land of sand. I'm debating if I want to watch this episode. But if I have to go through this torture, you all are going to be watching it along with me to be also tortured as well. So, without further ado, prepare some tissues possibly, and your favorite pint of ice cream. Let's get into Trigun STARGAZE, episode 5. Oh, he used to play in a jazz club. So, bro, we just started the episode. Nah, I think I already said it last week, but definitely STARGAZE is definitely the more grittier, bloodier side of Trigun that we have yet to see adapted. Bro. I know you guys said he was like a villain in the original manga, but is he really a villain here? Yeah. He's trying to follow Vash's path. Yes. Also, they already on the ship. Was he really a villain in the manga, bro? That sounds pretty fast. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, his thing. Oh. Oh my god. Bro, how is Wolfwood gonna. Unless he catch him off guard. Ooh. 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 How is Wolfwood gonna beat this, bro? I mean, did you even make an attempt, bro? Mm. Mm. You got kinder Mid Valley. That's oh. Oh dang. Oh. You sure about that? Lord, don't. Somebody please say full fun. Uh oh. Thank God. Thank God. We got the all back and everything, bro. Look at my mans. Thank God. I don't want one. Please. The fact that y'all still nursing this guy. At least they treating him nicely. Others would have said, you know what? You gotta go, Grams. Oh my god. Oh my Jesus. You know you can guide him physically. Like in the midst of all the series that you and that's what he's scared of right now. Look at her touching up on him. I'm sorry. And that's what he. Ugh. Oh, y'all said this was the villain? Y'all liars. You guys are liars. You guys are liars. This man just wanted to hear the music. This is for the Millwood fan service right there. Mm. Mm. If anything happens to any of them, I swear on everything. I swear if anything happened to any of them on the ship, I'm gonna flip my lid. Oh, you freaked out. Oh. Why he needs more plants? He's done. One more. One more. He's complete. Oh my god. No, at this point, no, they just want to wipe everybody out. Are you kidding me? Bro, I went to go look what the title of the episode is called. Mind you, I did not go onto the website because I'm watching on Crunchyroll. And mind you, the song I was singing was It's a Beautiful World. Greens are green, red roses blue. What a one and the title of the episode is called What a Wonderful. Mind you, I don't remember what the title of the episode is when they do give a preview of it, the previous episode. I was literally singing this song before I watched the episode, and mind you, by the time I didn't really pay attention when I started the video to go watch. When I finished with watching the episode, and then I look at what the title of episode 5 is, it says, What a Wonderful. I was literally singing that song prior to, oh my god. You know, I'm gonna use that title for the video. I'm literally going to use that title for the video because I was literally singing that. I didn't know what the title of the episode was until just now. Once I finished watching it, I was singing that before I even went onto the website. That's insane. Like I said, I watched the previews of the episodes, but the thing is, I don't really pay attention to the episode title at all. So the fact that I was literally singing that song, and the episode's literally titled that, oh, that's so fitting. Technically, yeah, this title is actually very fitting because, of course, I didn't read the manga of Trigun, so, like, I do know you guys did say that, like, he was a little bit more villainous in the manga, a little bit more savage, you know, being a gung-ho member, but it seems to me personally, they try to go about, he's still a deadly assassin at the end of the day. He's a deadly killer. Okay, he uses sound and melodies to attack, which melodies follow sound, to attack his enemies and defeat them. And he has various ways of utilizing sound through melodies, song, and such, to do so. Very, I will say, unique. Something you don't always get to see in terms of use of weaponry in any sort of shows or movies you watch. It's not the most prevalent, let alone a saxophone. You don't see saxophones being used as a weapon a lot of the times. Usually, you're more likely to see a guitar being used, probably, but a saxophone not so much. I don't know why I think of Ember from Danny Phantom. She used a guitar, but nonetheless, I think they would have made an amazing band. You know, taking out, yeah. But anywho, to see Mid-Valley, and that's why I was just like, since he was introduced, I could not see him being the same as the rest of the gung-ho members. Even the doctor doesn't even seem like, yes, he believes in Nai and everything, but it's at the same time, it's just like, as Wolfwood said best, like, you can change, people can change. And we clearly see that from the doctor from last season into this season, and we've seen with Mid-Valley within the 5 episodes that we just witnessed so far of Stargaze, that, like, Mid-Valley's heart was not in this. Not only that, it felt like he was coerced without consent to do this. Obviously, as we clearly saw the background, the backstory of how he got introduced into the gung-ho crew, he was forced. Either that or he would have died at the hand of Knives. Knives basically said, yo, you're going to be my little puppeteer. I mean, he's not really Emilio, but get it. He's going to be his little songbird. You sing a tune that I like and you live. Again, remember, Knives does not care about humans at all. He's only going to use them for his greater agenda of wiping out humanity and that only plants can survive. But again, they did bring up this big plot point that I hope, because we're going to hit mid-season next week. And they did not tell us whether this is going to be the final season or this is going to be part 1 of the finale of, or the final saga of Trigun, the new edition, starting from 2023. So I don't know. Or they're probably just going to wrap it up with this season and that's it. That's the whole story of Trigun. Done differently than the original manga and the original anime that came out in 97 or 98. But this does say after this season, I'm definitely going to try and purchase the Trigun edition 3-in-1 volume, I believe. I'm going to try at least to get the first volume. It's going to take a minute for me to do so. It's either I'm probably going to think of probably going online or go to like a bookstore like probably Barnes & Noble and purchase a volume for myself. But I can you know, have sympathy for Mid-Valley. Like, yes, he was a killer. He and his band probably were like, they played music, but at the same time, I can see it where possibly they roughed up people for money, and if you didn't do what they said, they took your life and stuff like that. And it came to a point now where they unfortunately caught the eye of Knives, and whether they were going to kneel to his whim or not, that was up to them. And unfortunately, he witnessed his 2 bandmates, which more likely seems like friends that he knew for a very long time, end up dying trying to fight against Knives. So I did feel for Mid-Valley. It doesn't excuse his actions. I'm not saying that. It doesn't excuse his past transgressions, but I can understand where he is coming from. And as Wolfwood said, if I was able to change, because Wolfwood was part of the gung-ho crew and he used to be an assassin, he went about taking lives. But at the same time, he was, as we saw from season 1, and if we know the story, he was experimented on. Hence why he was called the Punisher. You know, and he had turned a leaf by being introduced to Vash, Millie, and Meryl. And he tried to change his life around. So I'm glad that he is safe in this. Okay, I do have a little bit of trauma when it comes to Wolfwood. I think a lot of Trigun fans do have a little bit of trauma when it comes to Wolfwood. We're not going to spoil anything, but we do have trauma with Wolfwood. We'll just say that. There is trauma with his character, especially for those who Wolfwood is their main favorite character. There is trauma. There is, oh God. But again, I would say Mid-Valley, I understand him. Again, I don't excuse his past actions, but hopefully he comes around and he helps Vash and the others. But what's scary right now is that you have 2 lunatics, Eldera and oh my God, why can I? Legato. Those 2 are the worst in gung-ho. They say, you know what, we don't care. We just want to bring back Lord Knives. And so we're going to take out everybody, even if I mean, I don't think at this point they even want to bring back Vash alive. They just want to bring him back so they can just morph him into Knives. That's what I'm seeing, because the amount of missiles they just launched at home was not necessary. Mind you, Knives is probably 2 seconds away from fully waking up. His body is fully complete. You know, I guess they want to turn him to some ultra planet. Okay, some Ultra Print. So by doing so, first and foremost, is to embarrass Vash for how dare he harm Knives, because they're followers. It's like a cult following mindset that they have. And so it's more so to put Vash in his place, embarrass him, and then make him feel helpless like he did in episodes 11 and 12 of Stampede. But this time now he's going to be fully absorbed into Knives, instead of like where we saw in Stampede in 11 and 12, where Vash was basically rid of his own identity. His whole plant identity took over, and he became comatose, and then, you know, he had no will. Knives tried to rob Vash of his will so he can do his bidding. In this case around, it's going to be basically 11 and 12, but probably with the death of Vash in order to revive Knives. So they're going to probably torture Vash if they do capture him, humiliate him, and then sacrifice him to revive Knives. I can see that backfiring anyway, because as much as Knives has this obsession and very twisted form of love towards his own twin brother, at the end of the day, he still does care. So if he was to wake up and realize what Eldera and Legato and even the Doctor did to Vash to revive him, I don't see them surviving. I don't. And that's only if they manage to get away with their plan. That's only if. I don't know how this is going to go, because anyway, either way we look at it, I don't believe they ever did something in the original Trigun. So this is going to be a whole different bout of like bringing back, because in the original Trigun, the thing that did happen with Lost City of July, 3rd of July City, and Knives did die. Well, he actually did, and they brought him back. If I remember correctly, they found a way to bring him back, and it did lead to an altercation between him and Vash, but Vash was never used to bring back Knives in any capacity. He ended up finding about like Knives surviving, but he was not used in that regard. So this is something very different. And you did see it in the original anime. Of course, that probably was like anime only original material, given the fact that the anime was catching up to the manga at the time before we had Trigun Maximum. So this is a different way of going about that to bring back Knives into the story after the Lost City of July. So I am pretty excited and scared to see how this is going to go about, of them reintroducing Knives back into the story, and what does this mean for Vash if they are incorporating different elements from Trigun Maximum, which unfortunately I didn't read all of it, but they did incorporate a few things from Maximum into the original anime. So give and take. But yeah, like I said before, this season of Trigun overall seems a lot more bloodier, a lot more grittier. It's not to say it wasn't dark in the first season, but they're really going ham with it this season, just to show us how bad it is, and like technically the aftermaths of that incident 2.5 years prior. So yeah, Knife coming back is a huge problem, huge, and it's going to be a lot of casualties, a lot. It's going to be a lot. But nonetheless, if you guys already watched this week's episode of Trigun STARGAZE episode 5, if you are a manga reader, of course, no spoilers, but how do you take Mid-Valley's interpretation in this iteration of Trigun versus his manga counterpart? What do you like about this version? What you don't like? What do you think they did better with this version? Or what do you think they did better with the manga counterpart? What do you predict is going to happen next episode? Anime onlys, how do you feel about this week's episode? Also, what do you think is going to happen next episode? How do you feel about Mid-Valley since his introduction from episode 1? The links are in the description box, so you guys go check it out. And I'm Kimmy-chan, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!